If you could see the energetic architecture that makes you uniquely you, what would it reveal? Imagine having a map that shows exactly where your energy is consistent and where you're taking it in and amplifying the energies around you. I'm Mark Roach. Welcome to Transcendent, my YouTube channel where I share my journey around the world through life, crossing the whole spectrum of the human experience. This channel is all about inspiring common people to find their power. And today we're exploring the 9 centers of human design's body graph. Human design isn't just about understanding yourself, it's about controlling your attention and directing it to what matters, truly matters. Your authentic energetic expression. That's what truly matters. As we explore these 9 centers, remember, you have more power than you think. You're not just experiencing energy, you're designed to express and receive it in specific ways that reveal your true nature. These 9 centers represent different aspects of our consciousness and function. Each center in your chart is either defined, which is colored in, or undefined, white, or open. Defined centers provide consistent, reliable energy that you transmit to others. Undefined centers are where you take in and amplify energy from the world around you, areas of potential wisdom or conditioning. Let's start at the top with the head center, which generates mental pressure to think and question. If defined, you consistently pressure yourself and others with questions and inspiration. If undefined, you're sensitive to mental pressure from others and may feel confused by questions that aren't actually yours. The Anja center is our conceptualizing mind. It's usually depicted just beneath the mind. The Anja center defines, if it's defined, then you'll have a consistent way of thinking and processing information. If it's undefined, you take in and amplify others' mental processes, potentially leading to certainty about things that later change. Now, the throat center is where energy is manifested through communication and action. If it's defined, you have consistent access to expression. If it's undefined, you may seek attention and recognition through speaking, often amplifying others' communication styles. And then there's the G center. It houses your identity, your direction, and love. This is where your magnetic monopole resides, the force that holds your design together and guides your trajectory. If it's defined, you have a consistent sense of identity and direction. If it's undefined, you may search for yourself and others or constantly question your path. And then there's the heart, ego center. And this relates to your willpower and material resources. If it's defined, you have consistent willpower and a relationship with proving yourself. If it's undefined, you may make promises you can't keep or feel the need to constantly prove your worth. And then there's the solar plexus center, which processes emotions in waves. If it's defined, you experience consistent emotional cycles that need time to find clarity. If it's undefined, you amplify the emotions of those around you, potentially leading to emotional overwhelm or avoidance of confrontation. And then there's the spleen center, and it governs intuition, well-being, and fear. If it's defined, you have consistent intuitive awareness in the now. Undefined, you may hold on to things out of fear or amplify, maybe even amplify health anxieties. And then there's the sacral center. This is our life force and generative energy. If it's defined, usually in generators and manifesting generators, then you have sustainable energy when responding correctly. If it's undefined, you may struggle with knowing when enough is enough and experience inconsistent energy. Finally, there's the root center, and it provides pressure and adrenaline. If it's defined, you have consistent stress and drive. If it's undefined, you feel hurried by external pressures. Now, I want to pause here and address something important. You might be thinking, this is interesting, but how does knowing about my centers actually help me? Well, the best video editing isn't just about arranging footage, it's about shaping reality. Similarly, understanding your centers isn't just about knowledge, it's about recognizing where you're truly you and where you're conditioned. The question isn't what centers do I have defined, but how am I using the wisdom of both my defined and undefined centers? When you think like that, your self-awareness deepens, your relationships transform, and your entire experience of life shifts from resistance to flow. Let me give you a real-world example of, let's call him David. He had an undefined heart center, constantly made promises he couldn't keep, trying to prove his worth through commitment. When he discovered human design and recognized this pattern, he began to honor this undefined heart by making fewer, but more authentic commitments. His relationships improved dramatically as people began to trust his word, and he no longer felt the constant pressure to prove himself. Understanding your centers reveals both your consistent gifts and where you're also vulnerable to conditioning. The defined centers show you what's reliably you. The undefined centers show where you've really taken on maybe some self-betrayal or not self-behaviors by trying to be consistent in areas where you're designed to be inconsistent and learn. The magic happens when you recognize that your undefined centers are not weaknesses. They're potential sources of wisdom. When not identified with conditioning, your undefined centers give you profound insights precisely because they sample and amplify energy rather than just being fixed or dogmatic. Before we wrap up, I want to let you know I've created a comprehensive Before we wrap up, I want to let you know that I've created a comprehensive guide to working with your defined and undefined centers. For the first 100 people who download it, it's completely free. Just click the link in the description below. In our next video, we're going to explore profiles, the archetypal roles that we play in life. Until then, notice how your defined and undefined centers operate in your daily experience. I'm Mark Roach, wishing you peace on your journey toward transcendence and all the best.